AI was supposed to pick an existing hero. Instead, it invented one. So now I have to draw him. If you have watched last week's episode where I draw a random hero versus a random villain, it turned out to be Hellboy and Joker. To make sure they were truly random, I got those prompts from AI. But in that video, I showed you that before AI chose real hero and a real villain, it actually come up with its own, and his name was the magnificent Captain Biscuit. And ever since I made that video last week, I could not get Captain Biscuits out of my mind. So I did what all creative type of people do, and that is we made him a reality. So here in front of your very eyes is the one, the only Captain Biscuits. Now, not only did I design Captain Biscuits, not only did I draw Captain Biscuits in my sketchbook, I came up with a whole backstory for Captain Biscuits, such as how Captain Biscuits become Captain Biscuits. So you see, Captain Biscuits wasn't always this big, manly, magnificent superhero type of person. He was just a regular kid, just like any other kid, when one day he accidentally ate a magical biscuit that gave him the superpowers and made him become Captain Biscuit. Now, will I do anything more with Captain Biscuits? Probably not. I think it was just a phase. I couldn't get him out of my head for a while, but now he's in my sketchbook. He's immortalized in that. He will be there forever. I think he's done. Now, I drew Captain Biscuits in my normal style. It was a little bit more comic book style than what my normal style is, but I drew him the same techniques that I would normally use. So sketched him out in a light, I think it's blue. I think it might be purple. I don't really know. A colored pencil for his sketch, then inked over him with Budanosuke brush pen, and then I used a bit more ink than I normally do, but putting down dark blacks and shadows, hard shadows, harsh shadows. I don't normally do that. If I'm looking for a more comic book style, then I'll add those harsher shadows. And then after he was inked, I then colored him with my trusty Ahuhu alcohol markers. Not sponsored. I wish I was. If anybody's watching from Ahuhu or any of those markers, let me know, because I would love to work with one of those brands. Anyway, by the by, so I take a few shades of the color of the area that I want to color in. One light, one mid, one darker. Maybe sometimes it's only two, because I am sometimes restricted with the colors that I've got, because I haven't got all the colors that they make. And sometimes I use different brands as well, just to get a different tone. And then normally with what I did with this one with Captain Biscuit is I colored him all in the light shade first, like the lightest. So you'll see that the suit was really like a light blue, and then went over him with a darker blue and covered most of it up and just left the really highlighty areas. And then I also went in again with a darker shade than the mid shade. Not that it makes too much difference; it doesn't really look like it, but I did, and really went in where I'd put the black shadows, went over that part with the darkest shade of the color as well. And then, as you can see, when I get to it, or if I have already, the background, I tried a little bit something different, mixed it up with a few different shades of yellow and a few different shades of blue. It looks cool. I like it. And then I tried to blend that all in. Don't get me started with blending with these markers. With any markers, I just don't get it. I don't understand. I've watched tutorial after tutorial and I still don't get it. Maybe I'm picking the wrong colors, but that's another rant for me to take on at a later date. But there you go, guys. You can see in all of his glory, hopefully on the page, hopefully I've timed this well enough that you can see Captain Biscuits in all of his full glory. But wait, there's more. Now, Captain Biscuits couldn't just stand there on one page by himself, all alone, when who else but his nemesis, Evil Pigeon, has to be in here too. That's right. Not only did I come up with Captain Biscuits and what he looked like, what he's designed, what his backstory was, I even came out with a villain of my own. And that is what I'm drawing now on this second page. So for Evil Pigeon, I decided who else but what else could be a nemesis for biscuits. Who eats biscuits apart from everybody? But pigeons. Pigeons love to eat scraps off the floor and things like that. So this is what I came up with. I like the way he came out. I like the way he turned out, to be honest. All joking aside, guys, I am quite happy with the way these come out. I don't normally do these kind of thing in my sketchbook, things from my imagination. I normally draw them all digitally, like when I'm making my own comics and stuff, or even designing characters. I don't normally do that on or in a sketchbook. I normally just do this all digitally just because it's easier to manipulate, it's easier to redraw, it's sketchy, it's easier to move around, resize, do anything you want with it, really. So, yeah, I had fun here. I did do some sketches on a rough piece of paper while I was on a call just to get these first looks down. And yeah, like I said, I couldn't get them out of my mind for quite a while. It's embarrassing, but I did manage to get them down into my sketchbook, like I said, and we are finally done, I think, with Captain Biscuit. I don't think I'm going to turn him into a comic. I don't like him that much. But let me know in a comment if you guys like Captain Biscuit at all and whether you want to see more of Captain Biscuits. I'm sure I can come up with a little sneaky story about Captain Biscuits and Evil Pigeon. And yeah, we could go from there. Maybe that's a video in himself. Let me know if you would like to see that as a video. So yeah, I'm going to shut up now. If you did like this, please make sure you leave me a big thumbs up. Comment down below of what or who I should draw next. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.